So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where we have much to discuss. Starting off with probably the biggest news in the world of Formula One this week. Williams. It's James. Discuss.
I'd say it's a bit of a left field choice. But after the interview after the quotes that Toto gave, that basically the only position that the only career path James could have taken within Mercedes was to take Toto's job. I feel like it's probably the right decision for James because I don't think Toto's going anywhere anytime soon. So,
especially not as one of the principal owners of Mercedes.
Yeah.
His job is pretty safe. He's not getting sacked, no matter how badly they do. Yeah, I think it is quite good for James. He's been very good in the role of chief strategist. Some of his calls have been absolutely amazing. He's won many world championships. That's not to say Williams are going to win any world championships, but who knows? They might. They have before.
I think as long as James progresses the team, that'll be the big thing. They finished last year. They have to take steps forward now.
Yeah, considering they went 2 steps forward 2 seasons ago and then took them immediately back. Yeah. I mean, imagine getting beat by Haas.
I mean, Haas did take a year out of developing their car for the sole intent of developing last year's one, which you could say worked.
But Mick Schumacher kept splitting it in half.
Yeah, and Kevin Magnussen technically had more DNFs.
Kevin Magnussen also had a pole position. So
yeah, we'll put a little asterisk on that. It is a pole, but at the same time, it was definitely George Russell's fault.
But it was pole position.
Yeah. Considering that Mick was in the bottom 5, not ideal.
Wasn't Mick last?
Yes.
Wasn't literally a Haas sandwich?
Yeah.
So not just the bottom 5.
He did get a P6 once, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
honestly,
he did get good points. So
no,
I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely need to start going forwards and challenging the midfield. Otherwise, they will forever be languishing at the back.
Yeah, and I mean, as long as James can make those strategy calls at Williams, they can just. The thing with Williams is they know they don't have the best package, but they know that they have a good package at certain venues. So they have to maximize those opportunities.
Well, to be fair, we don't know they've got a bad package for this year because they've had a chance to learn. And finishing last also means they have the most development time on the grid.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, but
they could show up to preseason testing with a rocket ship. Or they could show up to preseason testing with it.
I'm going to suggest that it's probably more towards the latter, just because I think it's going to take a team like with the cost cap and the regulations staying where they are. I think it's going to take the teams a couple of years to sort of get on top of it, especially those at the back. Like, yes, they have more time, but Williams still isn't like it's not a financial powerhouse. And I know that's not as important as it once was, given that we have a restriction on the amount of the amount you can spend, but it's still important given that a few years ago, Williams weren't even spending enough to reach the cost cap.
Yeah, and one season they basically missed out on a week of preseason testing because they lost bits of their car.
Yeah.
But time will tell what James can do, I guess. When he rocks up to preseason testing, what is it, the last week of February?
Yeah.
We'll see what sort of times they put on the board. We should, of course, stress that preseason testing times are not indicative of actual running in a competitive weekend, because Haas went top of a few sessions this year
But Haas were allowed to run later as well, weren't they?
Yeah, that was on one of the days I think they were allowed to run late.
Which meant that they got the fastest time because
we also
track
had
evolution.
a McLaren top a test as well.
See, that was not a test. That was the pre-season session.
Sad noises.
It's still
because Mercedes also went 1-2 at that test.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah.
Still
won a race.
Yeah.
Still won a race.
Yeah. Still, we'll see James in his role slightly before preseason testing, I'd imagine, given that Williams announced their car launch this week.
Yeah, most of the teams have at this point as well.
I think there's 3 left that haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, some of them don't traditionally announce dates. They just go, ha, car.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, cool.
Let me just have a quick check. It's the pinned tweet on here. So, no, it's only 2 teams haven't announced. Alfa Romeo and Haas.
Haas usually just show up to testing and go, car.
Here, car, have fun. Goodbye.
Yeah. Alfa Romeo do that as well quite a lot. I think
Alfa Romeo turn up to testing with a testing livery.
Yeah. It's usually really cool as well. And we're like, please run that in the season. They just go, no.
Yeah. So
Red Bull do that a lot
sponsors.
as
well. Well, Red Bull announced their car launch.
Yeah.
And it's early. It's on the 3rd of February.
Let's be honest. Red Bull's is probably the least exciting car launch of them all because we already know how it looks.
Ferrari.
Ferrari at least changed it up a bit. They added green one year.
Okay, and everyone hated it.
But at least they tried something.
True. But everyone was also very glad that sponsor was banned in like most of Europe, so we didn't get the green bit.
Yeah, but it's still like the awful gradient that it had.
Yeah.
But at least they tried something.
When was the last time, except for the black Mercedes, that Mercedes changed their silver arrow?
But to be fair, they do some variation. Remember the AMG car? And they also went that sort of half and half livery when they were moving away from the black car.
It was okay.
Yeah, at least they do change it up a little. Bring back the black car, to be honest. I love the black car.
Black car was nice.
So much nicer.
I sympathize with Valtteri Bottas's comments at, I think it was Austria. It was like the overalls are so hot.
They could throw a curveball and just make a red car, like the safety car. Just red.
Just throw a curveball.
Behold.
Make it the same color as Ferrari. Confuse people.
Yeah. Who's that at the front? I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, McLaren's is pretty standard at this point.
I hope they come up with something better. I hated last year's McLaren livery. Absolutely hated it.
Last year's McLaren, it grew on me because I was just so used to seeing it. But like,
actually,
I do prefer 21 and 2020.
Speaking of McLaren, on my drive down from home back to uni, so this would have been last Monday, and I completely forgot to mention it. Just as I was leaving my parents' hometown, I drove past a complete left field vehicle. It was a Fiat 500 that had been wrapped in the McLaren Golf livery from Monaco.
No,
see that.
That's criminal. It's a Fiat 500.
Oh.
And it just had a massive Golf logo on the bonnet. And I was like, you know what? You do you.
Oh dear.
I was like, that's my hometown. How have I not seen that around?
So driving to the next
Maybe they were just passing through.
Maybe.
I was driving to the next town over, and rural Wales, forests, hills, nothing. And it's an hour away. So I was slightly speeding there because I was a bit late. And just as I was coming around like this windy corner through like a forestry, 2 McLarens just like out of the blue. I was like, Why are they there? It's fucking rural Wales. Why the hell are they driving on country roads?
But yeah, back to Formula One.
Well, I have a question. Was it an Abarth or just a normal Fiat 500?
I didn't see the badge, so I cannot confirm or deny.
Did it look any sort of
It didn't look any racy. It just looked like a Fiat 500, but that's because it was wrapped. When you put a wrap on a car, you don't really look at the car, you look at the wrap.
There's quite a few Fiat 500 Golf liveries.
Oh, there.
Yeah, I've just done it on Google.
Fair enough.
It's incredible.
Absolutely insane.
Oh God.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? It did make me wonder what I could get for my car. But then I had to spend £400 on brakes this week, so that quickly went out the window.
Anyway,
speaking of car launches, we've done Williams, they announced theirs. The next day, Mercedes announced theirs. Mercedes car launch will be on the 15th of February.
I hope they tone it down this year, because last year they went for quite a flamboyant car launch and the car was shit. Whereas the previous few years, they basically just went
understated.
Car.
Well, yeah, that's because they were winning. They didn't care. They were like, car. It's the same as last year's, but better.
Let's just go back to car, and then we might win.
Also, I just want to, just real quickly, I want to shout out Williams for actually putting a time on their car launch post. Because none of the other teams have specified what time the car launch is going to be, except Williams, and they did it in 2 time zones. So the Williams car launch, which is on the 6th of February, is either at 9 a.m. EST if you're in America, or 2 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time if you're British like us lot.
Indeed we are. 2 p.m. is a rather odd time.
I think it's probably just so it's 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Like Doralton Capital is the main sponsor of it. It's an American company.
And they've got that sweet, sweet Las Vegas Grand Prix money coming in.
True. But if they were bothering with Las Vegas, it'd be even later, because that's like, I want to say that's like 4 a.m. Las Vegas time. I'm not entirely sure on US time zones, I'll be honest. But West Coast is a long, long way back.
But they've got that sweet, sweet Miami money coming in.
That's more accurate. Yeah, that is. Yeah. But still.
So what's the current schedule for car launches then, Richard?
Well, currently, of the 8 teams we have, it goes Red Bull on the 3rd of February. All of these are in the February, so I'm just going to say the date. Red Bull on the 3rd, Williams on the 6th, Alpha Tauri on the 11th, and remember, that's in New York. Aston Martin on the 13th, also McLaren on the 13th, Ferrari on Valentine's Day, Mercedes on the 15th, Alpine on the 16th, which leaves Alfa Romeo and Haas to announce.
Didn't you say Red Bull was in New York as well?
Red Bull have... Yes, they did say it is in New York as well.
Pre-season testing, I'm pretty sure, starts on the 22nd, so that'll be Haas. They'll unveil on the 22nd. And Alfa Romeo will just go car at some point. No, to be fair, they done quite a big launch. What was it, 2 years ago? Last year? They were in like a theatre and everything. Even Kubica showed up.
Was that because it was? Yeah, I remember it was the one. It was Bad Santa.
Yeah. No, that was Haas.
Oh, sorry. What?
Alfa Romeo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I've kind of tuned out and looking at a tweet.
That's what I'm saying. Even
I'm planning the next segment.
Oh, God.
What's it got to do with Bad Santa?
No, it doesn't. I just heard theatre and was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, he's still not back.
Thank God for that.
He sponsors a lot. They sponsor a lot of racing series.
Yeah, they sponsor a lot of other stuff.
Yeah. Autosport, there was like I went to the live show and there were so many cars with Rich Energy on it. I was like, how do they have that much money?
There's a lot of like touring cars, Ginetta cars, lower motor
bikes as well.
Do you see the trophy truck tip when he was doing like the weird jump thing?
No, that was the day before.
Because
the rally driver I was talking about, he saw it and he said it was really good.
yeah, like done a little barrel roll.
Is that one of those like racing trucks?
Yeah.
God damn.
That's quite impressive.
They went hit the jump at like a wrong angle and tipped over, done a little barrel roll and just landed on all four wheels.
Play it off, style points.
And everyone, you could like hear the crowd go,
because everyone knows that's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, next segment.
Well, we've done Red Bull's college. Most of the teams have been announced. The only thing that is left now, thanks to James Vowles being announced as team principal, is the Alfa Romeo team principal.
Yes.
How many teams have maintained the same driver pairing and team principal between 22 and 23?
Isn't the Alfa Romeo team principal Andrea Seidel?
He's the CEO, not the team principal.
Right. Okay.
One.
Yeah, one.
Two.
Red Bull and Mercedes are the only two teams to maintain the exact same top three, which I think is a bit nuts. But Ben, in terms of what you said, you're not the only one to fall into that trap, because the Twitter post actually puts in the bottom, Andrea Seidel is CEO, not team principal. But yeah, that is the only slot left.
Why does Vasseur look like an evil Jean Todt?
Because he's at Ferrari.
It literally just looks like evil Jean Todt.
Well, we'll have to get him on the phone for a comment on that. Use our press passes.
More on that maybe later. Depends what they say. Yeah, we'll let you know.
Other than that, I think the only thing on the list is the new project from Matt Gallagher and Tommy Bellingham.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, to be honest.
No one does.
We just know that they've left WTF1 and they've replaced 2 people with 5.
Yeah, well, they've announced a new project.
Called P1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not a lot has been specified about it since. All of their stuff just says new project loading. No tweets, no nothing. The only 2 accounts that they're following are their own personal accounts, and they've got almost 10,000 followers already. So
to me, it just seems most likely they're gonna do another podcast, because I think that seems most likely rather than the blog like before, because that took. Well, I'm guessing it took about 6 years to properly pick up.
Yeah, I can't see them not doing video content.
Oh yeah, there'd definitely be a YouTube channel and podcast, but I have a feeling they're not really going to go back to doing the blog posts.
I feel like they'd stray slightly further from like what WTF1 does in terms of like the WTF 101s and that sort of thing, just out of like respect for what they did there, and that's that thing. But at the same time, they'd still very much do their own sort of videos, like the videos where Matt meets like Charles Leclerc and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they have like the media presence to carry on doing that.
So. Exactly. So
yeah.
But with it being new, is their publication big enough to receive F1 media passes? I think not.
They haven't been going long enough. We, however, have almost 2 years under our belt.
But only 58 subscribers.
We're going strong.
With the media accreditation, what's like the minimum you have to get? Because I was thinking like the pit stop boys.
100,000.
Did they really have that many? Oh my god.
Yeah, they got real big real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, for website accreditation, you need to have like 100,000 hits or a specific invite from Formula One.
100,000 hits. Does that mean like views or like?
Yeah, for us that would be views.
Well, we're on 2,400.
But they have to be independently audited. It has to be unique views.
Oh,
Yeah.
get the bots in.
I was just thinking. No, but they'd look at like the amount of views and then the amount of subscribers and go, hang on a minute. No. We're a long way off that.
Really?
We just don't advertise really. That's our problem.
Yeah, we need to fix social media presence.
Well, I mean, I do all the editing. Like, someone else needs to do something.
I handle the professional communications. Apparently.
Really? I had to apply to Fastest Lap because you kept forgetting.
Yeah, but look at who I've been talking to today.
But you couldn't respond to a comment from a fan.
Wait, which comment did I miss?
No, it's just like the emails. We got emails, and they said they're fans of the podcast, and you just like, no, forgot about that.
And that's okay. The email's very busy today with important work, important business.
Yeah.
You want this important business to happen? I can easily click withdraw.
No. Oh God.
But yeah, Formula E was back this weekend, but because of exams, and I've not had a chance to watch the race yet, so we'll talk about it next week.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow.
I mean, I watched.
You watched the highlights.
Yes.
Go watch
So
the whole thing.
I watched what I could on my break at work, and so I caught the first 6 laps, and I caught Jack Nicholls' blunder.
Yeah, that was quite funny. Jack Nicholls has decided Formula E is now Formula One.
For licensing purposes, I cannot show you the broadcast, so I recorded the audio. Here it is.
Here, in the oldest capital city in the Americas, a new era is about to dawn at the 2023 Hankook Mexico City E-Prix.
Going strong.
We have new teams, new drivers, a brand new electric race car, but I can still guarantee the trademark action in the opening round of the ABB FIA Formula One World Championship.
The what? Sorry? The
Formula One.
Oh dear.
Formula One.
Oh. Oh, Jack.
He's been doing that for how many years?
Exactly.
Yeah, he is Formula E's lead commentator.
Oh, that's big oof. He's just done one of those. I mean, you hear it from Crofty often enough where he gets the wrong name and
the wrong team.
Yeah.
But that's the wrong series.
It's just one wrong word, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not.
Yeah,
it's Formula E.
He wasn't calling it Aston Martin Racing Point like Crofty did a few times.
Yeah, true. So, but that really tickled me on my break at work because I was just tuned in just as they were doing the warm up, and yeah. I was like, hang on a minute, did I hear that right? Rewound.
Wait a minute.
Something ain't right.
So Formula E's back for its 9th series now, 3rd as a world championship, I believe.
Something like that.
Quite a few, as Jack pointed out, new teams, including McLaren, which is very interesting. No more Mercedes though, like I said. They came.
Michelin Man. I'm very upset about that.
The Michelin Man is gone.
Hankook now.
Hankook are the new tires suppliers.
Upset.
I do like the look of the new tires though. I watched Free Practice 1 on Friday. They do have very Formula 1 vibes, to be fair, with the red ring around them. Very
the old
tire.
school. Oh, you mean on the? I'm thinking in the grooves.
Yeah, that looks cool, but even on the on the side.
Because there was, when was it? It was, I want to say it was like 2005. It might have been Bridgestone they all had grooved tires at that point, but one of them had a ring in the groove. So it was kind of reminiscent of that for me, but they've gone all in and they've got three coloured grooves.
2 red and 1 blue, I think.
Kind of helpful for which direction you're supposed to put the wheel on.
I don't like the LED on like the front of the rear wing. I know it's going to be a bit easier to see than the LEDs on the Halo used to be, like on the top, but no. I think if there's a nighttime race when we go to Ready, is going to be very distracting. No, so not Ready, Deria it is that Formula E goes to. I don't think I'm going to vibe with that so much.
They just sound like anagrams of each other, not going to lie.
and London as well. London's an indoors race, so
part and part, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Which is quite a unique layout for a racetrack, to be fair. I do quite enjoy that. The half and half. But yeah, we'll talk more about Formula next week when we've all had the chance to watch the race. Anything else we need to talk about this week?
Formula 2 have started announcing some drivers.
Anybody know?
Yeah, so MP Motorsport, Dennis Hauger, their second driver hasn't been announced. Carlin haven't announced anyone, neither have ART or Hitech. Prema have announced Fred Vesti and Ollie Behrman. Dams have announced Ayumu Iwasa and Arthur Leclerc. Virtuosi have announced Jack Doohan and Amaury Cordial. PHM, Charouz have changed name. So it's PHM Racing by Charouz. So that's Roy Nassadi and Brad Benavides.
How has Nassani still got a drive?
Who knows? Money. Trident is Roman Stanek and Clement Novalak. VAR is Richard Vershaw and Juan Manuel Correa's back in F2.
Oh, that's good.
And Campos Racing is Kushmaini and Ralph Boschon.
A little surprising to see JMC getting promoted, though, because I don't think he had that strong a Formula 3 season.
No, but he also did do some sub-performances at the end of the F2 season.
Yeah, he
so
did.
Obviously did enough to impress.
I think he just did a weekend, I think.
Not sure.
1 or 2.
But Formula 3 drivers, right. Yenza Motorsport and PHM Racing by Charouz have not announced anyone yet. Prema have announced their full lineup, which is Paul Aaron, Dino Beganovic, Zach O'Sullivan. Trident have announced their full lineup, which is Leonardo Fornaroli, Gabriel Bortoletto, and Ollie Goethe. ART have announced their team, which is Kalen Frederick, Gregoire Saucy, and Nicola Tsolov. MP, full team, Franco Colapinto, Mary Boyer, and Johnny Edgar. Hitech have only announced one of their drivers, and it's the middle driver slot. And that's Gabriella Mini. VAR have announced their full team, which is Caio Collet, Rafael Villagomez, and Tommy Smith. Carlin have announced 2 of theirs, which is Hunter Yaney and Ollie Gray. And Campos have announced their middle driver as well, which is Christian Mansell.
And time will tell who fills up the rest of those spots on the grid for when Formula 3 starts in... Are they starting in Bahrain as well?
Wait, one.
I think they
yes,
are. I think
they are.
In Bahrain.
They are indeed.
So yeah, that will be quite good that we're starting the support series off nice and early. And yeah, and Formula 2 is starting there as well.
Full weekend. What a way to kickstart.
The calendar for Formula 2 this season is Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Azerbaijan, Emilia-Romagna, Imola, Monaco, Spain, Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, the Netherlands, Italy, and Abu Dhabi.
And got F3 up.
Oh, lovely.
Bahrain, Australia, Imola, Monaco, Spain, Austria, Silverstone, Hungary, Spa, Italy.
Finishing in Italy again. Italy's quite a strong place to finish, to be fair.
I mean, it's better than Yas Marina.
Yeah, true. I mean, why would
it doesn't take a lot to be better than Yas Marina. Brazil's better than Yas Marina.
That's not difficult.
Quite a lot of the calendar is.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the calendar is, I would say.
Bring back the Brazil finish.
Hell, even bring
Vegas now.
Let's finish in Las Vegas instead.
Imagine the post-season parties.
True.
Good Lord.
And it's a place where you can actually drink.
Yeah, exactly. So that didn't stop Toto Wolff a couple of years ago, did it?
No, it certainly didn't. But that's Toto Wolff, so he does what he likes.
Also true.
What are you going to do?
Not a lot. It's Toto.
But yeah, that I think wraps up this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Stay tuned for updates on our mystery project. We might have absolutely nothing to say, or we might go on to something really cool. We don't know yet. We'll let you. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Ta-ra for now.